Welcome to Truth Uncovered, where silence speaks louder than words, and wisdom whispers when emotions roar. Today, we venture into one of the most emotionally charged and psychologically misunderstood phases of modern relationships. What if she's also doing no contact? With you, you've pulled back. You're holding the line. No calls, no messages. You're playing it smart, doing everything the guides told. You focusing on self-growth, reclaiming your identity, staying composed. But then she goes silent too. Not a single word, not a flicker of attention, not a sign. Now what? The silence turns from strategic to unsettling. The unknown begins to gnaw at your mind. Is she thinking of you? Has she moved on? Is she matching your silence? Or just forgetting you entirely? Today, you'll learn exactly what this means, what psychological warfare is truly happening beneath the surface. And more importantly, what you should do not reactively but strategically and stoically. This isn't just a strategy. This is a transformation. Section 1. The power of parallel silence when two people go silent at the same time. Something fascinating begins to happen, not externally, but internally. Most people assume no contact is a tactic meant to make the other person miss them. But that's just the surface. When she's also doing no contact, it's no longer a tug of war. It becomes a mirror, not a game, a reflection. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius, this is where most people break. They misread the silence. They assume silence means disinterest, indifference, or abandonment. But silence is not emptiness. Silence is space, and space reveals everything, not about her, but about you. Section 2. What silence really does to you and her. Silence is psychological pressure. It's the absence of a stimulus. We've become addicted to attention, validation, predictability, and when both parties withdraw, it becomes a test, not of who cares less, but of who can remain centered in uncertainty. Most men rush to break the silence because it becomes unbearable. But that urge to reach out, that's not love. That's addiction to validation. You're not suffering from silence, you're suffering from attachment to the response you want to hear. But here's the revelation. If she is also doing no contact, she might be mirroring your behavior to protect herself, testing your emotional strength, creating space to heal or reflect, trying to reset the power dynamic, or waiting to see who you become in this silence. This means the game isn't even being played on the surface. It's being played within you. Section 3. Dark psychology. Silence as influence. Silence isn't passive. It's an emotional. disruptor. From a dark psychology standpoint. Silence does three powerful things. 1. It creates scarcity. We value what we can't access more than what's freely available. When you stop pouring attention into her world, that void becomes louder than any words you could speak. 2. It breaks patterns. If she's used to you being the first to text, call, explain, or chase, your silence shatters that rhythm. This unpredictability is unsettling, which makes it unforgettable. 3. It creates mystery. When you don't react, you become unpredictable. When you don't explain, you become mysterious, and mystery is magnetic. But none of this works if your silence is filled with noise inside, if you're obsessing, overthinking, or waiting by the phone. True silence is a reflection of inner stillness, and that is what gives it power. Section 4. What she might be thinking that you're not seeing when she's also doing no contact. Here's the twist most men never realize. Her silence might not mean detachment. It might mean curiosity. It might mean uncertainty. It might even mean restraint. Women, too, engage in self-preservation. She may be protecting herself from rejection. She may be reflecting on what she truly wants, or she may be waiting to see The man who shows up next is the evolved version of the one she left behind. So instead of asking, why isn't she reaching out? Ask, what kind of man will she find if she looks back? Section 5. The Stoic Advantage, winning the war within the ancient Stoics. Didn't just practice detachment, they mastered mental sovereignty. Let's go deeper. You cannot control her. Thoughts, her decisions, her timeline, you can always control. Your emotions, your reactions, your choices, the only battlefield that matters is the one inside your own mind. So, what do? Step 1. Journal. Don't text when you're tempted to reach out. Write it down instead. Let your journal absorb the emotions your phone was never meant to handle. Step 2. Negative visualization. Visualize the worst. She never comes back. She's already moved on. Now sit with it. Own that discomfort. And you'll strip it of its power. This is not about emotional suppression. This is emotional training. Section 6. Why most men fail the test and how you won't. Here's the trap. Men panic. They assume her silence means she's gone forever. So they chase, they reach out, they crumble. And in doing so, they transfer the power back to her. Chase her and you prove her silence worked. Stay grounded. And you prove your self-worth never depended on her response. This isn't a war of who. Texts first. This is a reclamation of your identity. The man who remains silent, not to manipulate, but to evolve, becomes irresistible, not just to her, but to everyone watching. Section 7. How to use this time, not wasted silence, is a gift, but only if you use it. Here's how to turn this pause into progress. Rebuild your focus. Wake up early, exercise, read, get back to purpose. Reclaim your identity. You're not someone waiting. You're someone becoming. Rewire your patterns. If love once felt like dependency, now make it freedom. Ask yourself every day, am I building the man she regret losing? The man who no longer needs her to feel whole? Section 8. Responding strategically, not emotionally, if and only if the moment comes when she breaks the silence. You must not respond from the wounded version of yourself. You respond from the evolved version, the one who doesn't seek validation, beg for clarity, dissent, ask, why did you leave? But instead radiates, I didn't lose myself in the process. And if she never reaches out, you still win, because you found yourself in the silence. Section 9. Final affirmations. Call to action. If this message resonated with you, drop one of the following affirmations in the comments right now. I choose power over reaction. I am the master of my silence. I control my story. I thrive in my silence. I master my emotions. Okay, each one is a declaration, not just to others, but to yourself. And if you're truly committed to reclaiming your emotional power, hit that like button to signal your journey toward inner dominance and stoic resilience. Final message. What if she's doing no contact too? So, what if she's also doing no contact? Then, congratulations. You've both entered a sacred silence. But the one who grows wins. Not in love, not in ego, but in life. Because no contact isn't about rekindling a lost relationship. It's about revealing the truth of who you are, who you've been, and who you're becoming. Let her silence echo. Let yours evolve you. And walk out of this silence not with closure, but with clarity, conviction, and control.